Hello, my name is Brian Masse, Member of Parliament for Windsor-West. I welcome you here today for the Srebrenica Genocide's 25th anniversary in the City of Windsor. Each year, people from across Ontario and Michigan gather in the City of Windsor on July 11th to commemorate the anniversary of the Srebrenica Genocide. This year, things look a lot different, but we still wanted to find a fitting way to mark this milestone anniversary. 25 years have passed since the Srebrenica Genocide took place in the Bosnian War, and this horrific event is commemorated annually on July 11th because on that day in 1995, Bosnian Serb forces commanded by convicted war criminal General Ratko Mladic executed more than 7,000 Muslim Bosniak men and boys who had sought safety in the region after the fall of Srebrenica. Another 25,000 people were forcibly deported in a UN-assisted ethnic cleansing that was later referred to in the European Parliament's resolution as, quote, the biggest war crime in Europe since the end of World War II. It was declared an act of genocide by the International Court of Justice. And on October 19, 2010, my motion, which passed with unanimous support in the House of Commons, established July 11th, should be recognized as a Srebrenica Remembrance Day in the memorial of the Srebrenica Genocide, which is one of 5 genocides officially recognized by the Government of Canada. In 2011, I traveled to Bosnia and met with the mothers of the Srebrenica, local leaders, and many others in the community. I remain committed to ensuring the sacrifices of those lost in the genocide will never be forgotten. Equally important is the fight against genocide denial. Education about these crimes against humanity in our schools and our annual public events and memorials like here today are the best way to guarantee this history is known and social justice for the victims. On this 25th anniversary, I want to recognize an individual who is part of this history, who was instrumental in the initiative to install this memorial here in Jackson Park, and who organized for years to gain official recognition of this genocide. His name is Senad Alicehajic. He came to Canada as a refugee from the war in Bosnia. He struggled to put himself through school, and he became a social worker, helping those with mental health challenges, while also establishing himself as a community organizer for several causes. Sadly, he passed away and lost to struggle with cancer. Senad was a personal friend of mine, a hero, and someone who I got to know when he came to actually this community, Windsor, later on getting my job at the Multicultural Council when I moved on, and later on making a difference between the community and also our country, Canada, which now has a genocide again, recognized in the Canadian Museum of Human Rights. We are joined today by his wife Alma and his children Azmina, Zarina, Ibrahim, and Azra. They're just over here behind us who will help with the tree planting later on. On behalf of Mayor Dilkens and myself, thank you for sharing Senad with us. We are grateful the time that we had together and what he did for Canada. His is a refugee story, which is a success story for all of us in Canada. He was an example for all Canadians of someone who chose to help others through the work he did, the time he spent in the endeavors that he volunteered in, and the leadership he demonstrated in the reaching the goals that he set and he actually accomplished. Today, with the help of the City of Windsor and Mayor Dilkens, who I'm very grateful, who's been very supportive from day one on this, we honor Senad in this 25th anniversary with this tree planting. This ceremony was from tireless efforts, and again, I want to thank the Mayor and also his staff and assistants in the Parks and Rec for helping this today. To the people of Srebrenica and the thousands living in Canada today, we honor your sacrifices. We remember your victims, and we will continue to work to ensure that such an event never takes place again. Thank you. And Mayor Dilkens, again, thank you very much for your time here.
Well, hello everyone. Thank you very much, Brian, for those kind words and acknowledgement, and thank you to Senad's family for joining us here today. Today is about pausing to remember all those whose lives were ended or forever changed by the Srebrenica Genocide. And as Brian said, it is also about honoring a Windsor resident and a member of the Bosnian community who had a true impact on many who call Windsor home. In addition to what Brian has shared, Senad was a former coordinator of the Multicultural Youth in Action program in Windsor. In 2011, he received the Queen's Jubilee Medal for his contributions, and his dedication to our community and the legacy he left behind will always be remembered. And it is very fitting to gather to remember him here at this memorial in Jackson Park. A few years ago, the Bosnian Muslim community, including Senad, established this memorial, and every year since then we have gathered at this spot on Srebrenica Remembrance Day. This memorial is attended by not only residents of Windsor-Essex, but by people from across the province, across the country, and in fact, across our international border. Today, of course, due to social distancing, our group is small, but the group is very meaningful. And we share this gathering online so everyone watching can also pay tribute, can reflect, and can remember. Our monuments and memorials serve this purpose, urging us to pause and think of those who have helped shape our world. The City of Windsor welcomes people from all across the globe. We are recognized as one of the most culturally diverse communities in our entire nation. Every 1 in 4 people in Windsor-Essex is an immigrant, and it is important that we continue to treat one another equally regardless of our cultural differences. Let's continue to remember those who lost their homes and lives due to this tragedy and continue to be welcoming to everyone who finds solace and safety and who builds a better life here in our community. Brian and I will now ask Senad's family to come forward to participate in the ceremonial planting of a tree in Senad's honor. And to everyone watching, thank you very much for joining us. Next time you're in Jackson Park, I encourage you to visit this memorial to remember those whose sacrifices inspired its creation. Thank you very much.